Fellow Monstratians and other residents of Montserrat, this is George Kirnon, and I stand before you today to say that the time has finally come for me to move from just being another concerned citizen to a citizen who now wishes to have a voice in the decisions which shape our country. I'm therefore pleased to inform you that I have taken the decision to contest the next general election as a candidate for the United Alliance Party. As most of you know, I have served on the Public Service Commission of Montserrat, and before that, I was the chair of the Complaints Commission for several years. It was always an honor to be of service to Montserrat by contributing to the improvement of good governance in the public service. But in doing so over the last 10 years, I have come to recognize that despite all that we have said, and despite all of the recommendations that have been made, things have remained the same. We fought strenuously from the outside to get the Complaints Commission to fulfill the role which the Constitution requires it to perform. Today, the Complaints Commission, a body which is so critical to the good governance of the public service, no longer functions. We question the reasons why the Public Service Commission has no oversight function, although the Constitution permits it. We asked why the Public Service Commission has no power to require the introduction of policies which align with Montserrat's development in the areas of recruitment, promotions, and succession planning. Surely it must be the absence of such policies why our next cabinet secretary is being recruited from St. Helena, when we have the same skills, the same competencies required for that post within the public service and in our diaspora. The damaging consequences of these unanswered questions, among others, over a long period of time, together with what seems to be an inability to treat with issues critical to Montserrat's development, have convinced me that the time has come for me to step forward. Most of you will know that I've been an attorney for many years, but many may not know that I have had an equally long career of some 25 years in economic development, including significant roles at the Caribbean Development Bank and at the CARICOM Secretariat. My regional career has been defined by innovation and creative thinking. I have a proven track record of bringing fresh ideas to the table and cutting through the red tape to get the job done. As I look around at the extremely slow pace of our progress, I've asked myself, what are we doing wrong? Year after year, successive governments have preoccupied themselves with allocating funds from a budget which has never been enough to maintain the country's public services and at the same time promote meaningful development. Allocating such resources year after year has been an exercise in juggling figures to make ends meet. We cannot therefore be overly critical of the current administration or past administrations, given the resources that they have had at their disposal. But what needs to be criticized is their failure to understand that our development is our business, and we must take charge of our own development and seek to find innovative ways to chart our own destiny. The list of possibilities is long, but Montserrat's growth must be underpinned by a resource mobilization strategy executed in partnership with our regional partners. The lack of aggression, the lack of innovation where Montserrat's development is concerned has left us with a very long list of what we now refer to as problems. Politicians have been running around the country almost daily speaking about these problems, from population decline to access, to the inadequacy of medical service, the high cost of living, and the surrender of the country to the governor. But where I differ is that while I agree that these are issues which need to be addressed, I view them merely as symptoms of a much bigger problem, the problem of failed leadership. There is failed leadership when there is a consistent failure to solve a country's problems. A country that does not solve its problems is a country in stagnation. A country in stagnation does not move forward. And that is where Montserrat has finally reached, a country deep in the throes of stagnation. So to stop this downward spiral, Montserrat will need experienced leadership. And I'm in this race. I'm in this race because I bring much of what the country needs: development experience and the courage to try new solutions. Leadership which already knows the landscape of the region, which already knows the players, which knows how to get things done. And leadership which is not prepared to try the same approaches over and over and expect a different result. We will also need leadership which will govern for all and which treats the diaspora as an integral component of our development. It saddens me that we still classify our population into nationals and non-nationals, but non-nationals are a critical and invaluable component of both our economy and our society. We need to find ways to move to a more perfect union between nationals and non-nationals. And as a member of the United Alliance Party, I will continue to champion the cause of non-nationals. This is my solemn pledge to you. And we must not forget our youth. They are the heartbeat of Montserrat's future. We must govern to ensure that they inherit a restored Montserrat, where opportunity flourishes and hope reigns. Fellow Monstratians, fellow residents, we are now at the crossroads of our development. We could continue this downward spiral or we could begin to rise. The choice on October 24th is between untried and inexperienced leadership and tried and tested leadership. I am excited to associate myself with the experienced and tested leader in Ruben Timid, a man with development training and experience who is prepared to speak out when necessary in defense of our country, who has been on the regional stage for many years, who is equal to any other regional leader, and who has the blend of diplomacy and forthrightness to negotiate with our UK leaders for a better deal for our people. I invite you to rally around the United Alliance Party. This is a silver lining which Montserrat has craved for a very long time. With the Alliance Party, we can now look forward once again with confidence and resolve for a more rapid pace of development for Montserrat. So when you go to the polls on October 24th, you must vote wisely. Vote to change this country around. Vote for experience. Vote for a more secure future for Montserrat. Vote George Kirnon. Vote United Alliance Party. Thank you for listening, and may God bless Montserrat.